Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop out here in the heavenly backyard garden. Well, it is now late March and the daylilies have been waking up from their winter sleep, and they got slaughtered this winter with a severe cold wave and ice storm that we had with 3.5 inches of sleet accumulating on the daylily garden. And well, guess what? They survived because they were asleep. But today I want to talk about daylily care and my daylily preparation for the upcoming daylily season. Welcome to Heavenly Backyard Gardening. Well, the project today will be feeding the daylilies. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've been cultivating the daylilies. I've been adding a mulch and a compost combination called Veggie Mix. And I mixed that with some finely crushed up pine bark. And I've been spreading that through the garden. And it's already showing results with the daylilies growing and their leaves dark, lush green. But today I want to add a final touch to the feeding process, and that is adding Milorganite. Now, Milorganite is high in nitrogen and moderately high in phosphorus. And those two you want for the daylily growth and the daylily blooms. And adding the Milorganite, well, it has somewhat of a, I don't know if you want to call it a fragrance, an aroma, or a smell, but after all, it is sewer sludge. That's what Milorganite really is. And when it gets wet, it does have that distinctive smell to it, but I call it the smell of green because it makes those leaves dark green. It's also good for the lawns too if you want to spread it on the lawns. Golf courses use it a lot to keep their lawns lush and green. But today I'm going to be adding Milorganite to the garden. Also, I'm going to be cleaning up a couple of other gardens. One of them is my iris garden. They're just about ready to bloom, but right now they're covered with weeds. But I'm going to be cleaning that out later after I finish putting down the Milorganite over the daylily garden. So, with that being said, let's get that Milorganite and let's get it into the garden. So what I want to do today is start adding the Milorganite to the daylilies. The Milorganite is high in nitrogen and moderately high in phosphorus. The nitrogen will give these leaves a nice green, dark green texture, and the phosphorus will help with the flowerscapes that will be coming along in about a month from now. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, the smell of the Milorganite, I call that the smell of green. So what I do is I just get a bucket full here, a little coffee canister, and I just take a handful or less around each plant and just sprinkle it around the plant, and that's all I need to do, sprinkle it around the plant. Of course, with over 200 to almost 300 plants out here, this takes a little while. It takes a couple days overall, but then I work it into the soil, careful not to disturb the roots, so just slowly work it into the soil. Well, this one here is one of my favorites. It's called Holly Dancer. It's a beautiful red daylily, and it's going to bloom all summer long. This is known as a repeat daylily. Actually, it's a three-peat. It'll almost send up 3 sets of scapes throughout the summer. So I'll get blooms out of this particular plant here for at least, I think, 3 months. It'll be blooming in May, June, and July. A lot of daylilies, the older daylilies, they only send up 1 set of scapes and that's it. The newer varieties are, they send up repeat scapes. They're called repeat daylilies. And those are always good to have. All right, so let me finish this up and get to work here. Mixing in the Milorganite. Now, these lilies here are doing very well. Nice, lush green. No scapes yet. It's too early for that, at least in this garden here. Usually I don't get my first daylily scapes until late April, maybe mid-April, but usually late April, but all May, June, and July. But right now, things are looking very nice out here in the heavenly backyard daylily garden. And look at some of these other daylily gardens throughout the backyard. Lots of lush green growth. They're responding well to this compost that I put in here throughout the last several weeks. Now over here is another daylily bed that I developed, and a little bit of a raised bed as well. And I mixed it with that veggie mix, compost, and pine bark. And I already gave it a light feeding, but I'm going to give it more feeding today. Some more chicken manure. It's going to be mixed in with this along with the Milorganite. So these are ready to go. And in front of them I have these perennial gerbera daisies. I think that's how you pronounce them anyway. Some say gerberas, I say gerbera daisies. And they are all different colors. And they'll be blooming as well throughout the entire summer months. And behind this fence here, I put this little fence up here to support my Asiatic lilies, which are behind this fence. And they'll grow above the fence, and in some cases, some of them are going to get up to 7 feet tall. So they need the support. But boy, they bloom in July and August. Oh, there's a butterfly. They bloom in August, July and August, and big lilies, and very, very fragrant. I love them. Mixed well with the daylilies. Well, it's a lily. Now, this is my iris garden, and I finished cleaning it up, and it took a little bit of effort. I filled up an entire trash barrel of the leaves and weeds and other undesirables that were in this particular garden. But I don't have really great success with bearded irises here in my area of coastal Georgia, but I get some success, enough where I like to try to grow some. And here they are right here. I got one already over here already sending up a flowerscape. That's, I believe, is a yellow bearded iris. And that's got about another 2 weeks before it blooms. Maybe less than that, maybe less than 10 days or so. Anyway, it came out pretty nice. It's looking pretty good. The thistle over there, I'm allowing that to grow because I know it attracts certain birds and favorable insects. Plus, you know, even though it's a weed, it's a pretty weed. Why not? One of the reasons why I call this the heavenly backyard garden, well, first of all, the flowers, it's basically heavenly, but I also have 3 large telescopes. There's one of them right there. And I view the heavens during the nighttime hours. So during the day, I'm working in the garden, and then at night, I'm looking at the heavens. Hence, the heavenly backyard garden. And I have 2 different YouTube channels besides this gardening channel. I also have Pat's Weather and Nature page, which I give a lot of weather information and some tips on what's up in the sky at night. And then I have my Astronomy channel, which is a little bit more detailed, but it shows some fantastic pictures of the heavens above. They're not the Hubble Space Telescope or the Webb Space Telescope, but they're great images from the backyard telescopes and things that you can see in your own backyard. Anyway, I'll have the links to those channels in the description area below. And if you have any comments, please leave your comments as well. Now, the daylilies usually start blooming by mid to late April, with the bulk of them blooming from mid-May into mid-June. And out here, I tell you, without the telescopes, it is heavenly with all the daylilies in bloom. But I have more than just daylilies. Of course, I have my vegetables. You just saw the video about the vegetable gardens, and I'm going to be showing more of that coming up soon. The tomatoes in the raised bed here are doing very well, and the cucumbers behind me are beginning to take off. They were kind of sluggish during that little cold snap we had, but the temperature stayed above freezing. Anyway, coming up next, besides the daylilies, I have dahlias. I have about 100 dahlias, and a lot of people say, you can't grow dahlias here in the southeast. Well, I say, yes, you can. In coastal Georgia, I've been growing dahlias for the last 10 years, and each year I plant more and more. I have about 100 dahlias now, and I started pre-potting some of them already to get them going, get a jump start on the dahlia season. And in my next video, I'm going to be showing you how I make these dahlias start up, how I make them bush out, and how I amend the soil for the dahlias, and how I set up the garden for the dahlia growth. The dahlias, they start blooming by mid to late May, but they'll be blooming all June, July, August, September into October. So the dahlias are something else apart of the heavenly backyard garden. So I hope you have a great time in your garden, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.